So the SEALs are obviously in the media quite a bit these days for all sorts of operations around the world. But what's consistent about the SEAL community is this, sort of the idea of these small, specialized small teams.
And we have this sort of Hollywood image of these elite teams that can accomplish anything when tasked to do so by the national leadership.
But there's a lot of commonalities between a SEAL team, a group of traders at a desk in investment banking, a group of medical experts in an operating room, etc. So shared consciousness, simply put, is the idea of does everyone in the organization, no matter your scale, for us we're about 25,000 people dispersed around the globe, did everyone have a constant, or as constant as possible, sense of alignment on strategy and access to the right information to be able to make a clear understanding at their level of what the organization was trying to accomplish and what they were seeing in the external environment that we had to actually fight? With that in place, we could then move to what we consider really the coin of the realm, which is empowered execution. Can you decentralize now down to these elite teams and let them make decisions independent of strategic thinking and direction from the top? Sounds great on paper. Every organization would love to be run like this, but we realized we don't really have a choice.
What if everything we've thought to this point is wrong? What if we had to redesign it to meet the modern world? Because what we thought we were looking at was this, a traditional hierarchical organization that the entire military, and you can extend this into government and business, what we all taught ourselves to be good at in the 20th century. What we were actually facing was this, a constantly morphing network that was organic in its shifting. It wasn't centrally led. It just moved as an organic entity around Iraq and around the world, and we were not aligned to that.
We have to figure out a way for our small teams on the ground to be able to go out, get in a fight against a terrorist element, learn new information, and move immediately to the next thing.
And so we started to look at it like this. We've brought a 20th century efficiency model to fight a constantly adapting organic network. And the hard reality for us to accept was adaptability is trumping efficiency at every corner.
Now take it off the battlefield and think about, okay, how often does the C-suite align, create true understanding at every level of the organization so your sales team can go out and operate independently for whatever periodicity makes sense to your organization before you have to check in and get realigned. What we really look at, and what I think we address, is how much complexity is in the system. So this real estate brokerage firm, 700 people, trades nearly $1 billion a year. So you can imagine the complexity that sits on everybody's plate. You know, a bunch of money comes into New York from, Southeast Asia, billions of dollars, and they've just got to get it off their books. And they try to close a bunch of deals in New York. They get one of them, but 2 or 3 don't happen. The money then goes to London because they've got to get rid of it, and they close 3 other deals. So how do we close that gap? Because there's nothing in our mentality that says, when this leaves my market, I want to make sure everybody has this idea of shared consciousness around the world, because this is going to go somewhere. So we spent 4, 5, 6 months going really deep and doing work along those lines of creating sort of a global focused effort around here's why we exist as an organization. And almost instantaneous. Within 6 months, they've described themselves as an intelligence-driven organization, because they can see issues long before their competitors, who are huge players, have any idea that anything's going on. And so they would be the ones, as soon as that money shows up in London, going and meeting with that team as they're stepping off the plane saying, I'm guessing you're here to dump $1 billion because you missed your deals in New York. Let's have lunch.
It's a human business legacy we want to leave behind us.